To the believers, questioning the validity of the law of attraction is akin to heresy and blasphemy. It creates a religious fervor. To the uninitiated, it may seem silly to discuss even the possibility that the law could exist. What you hold in your mind on a consistent basis is exactly what you will experience in your life. The law of attraction is fairly new in the realm of spirituality and personal development, but what it lacks in longevity, it makes up for in controversial beliefs by a long shot. Today, we are going to look at something that may get me a little bit of hate, but we're going there anyways: the law of attraction. While researching this topic, I went into it not knowing a huge amount about the law of attraction. And now, after finishing the research, I still feel like I know absolutely nothing. There seems to be no general consensus between the users of this belief on what the law of attraction truly is, the laws that are involved, and even what you need to do to make the law work for you. So even though I tried to go into this with an open mind, I finished feeling less than satisfied with the answers that I received. Also, it has been really hard for me to contain my sarcasm with some of this. I'm sorry, but I just can't help it. So I came up with a solution to the things that I found myself repeating over and over again. That being that that's not the law of attraction, that's psychology. So please meet Psychology Bunny. He's new here. He doesn't really have that much to say, but whenever I find myself wanting to tell everyone that what we are talking about is actually just general psychology, he'll make an appearance, so I can save my voice a little bit. So let's start with the thing that people in the law of attraction community or movement, whatever it is, agree on. Phineas Quimby. And I'm not even joking. This seems to be the only unifying information I could find while looking through all of the resources. Just this one man, Phineas Quimby. So Phineas is said to be the man who first spoke about the law of attraction. After being diagnosed with tuberculosis early in life, back in the 19th century, there was no cure for TB at the time, and he was looking for a way to relieve his symptoms. He eventually found that horseback riding gave him an intense excitement that temporarily relieved him from his symptoms. This encouraged him to take up a new line of study, mind over body. Although Quimby was never recorded using the term law of attraction and never specifically coined that term in any of his theories, he did say the trouble is in the mind, for the body is only the house of the mind to dwell in, and we put a value on it according to its worth. Therefore, if your mind has been deceived by some invisible enemy into a belief, you have put it into the form of a disease, with or without your knowledge. By my theory or truth, I come in contact with your enemy and restore you to your health and happiness. This I do partly mentally and partly by talking till I correct the wrong impressions and establish the truth. And the truth is the cure. So, as you can see, even the so-called father of the law of attraction didn't even really talk about the law of attraction. Everything that he theorized is exactly what psychologists have known for years now. If you are positive or have an optimistic outlook on life, you are more able to see the good over the bad. This is not a law, this is science, and to be a little more specific, psychology. Oh, and just so it's known that it didn't escape me, the reason that he felt temporary relief of his tuberculosis symptoms is easy to distinguish as well. He stated himself that horseback riding caused an intense excitement that temporarily relieved his symptoms. That temporary excitement caused adrenaline. Adrenaline is what caused the relief of his symptoms. That's it. It wasn't mind over matter or the law of attraction. It was just adrenaline. Moving on. In the late 1800s, the term the law of attraction was used for the first time in print in a book by Russian occultist author Helena Blavatsky. In her book, she used the law of attraction in context to alluding to an attractive power between elements of spirits. The first time that it was used in terms of changing mindset was by Prentice Mulford in his essay The Law of Success, which was published in 1886 to 1887, somewhere in there. Prentice became a huge player in the New Thought movement. His book started a small emergence of the law of attraction trend, with books released about the same theory. But the book that came after the original all seemed to concentrate more on using the law of attraction to bring positive things into one's life, instead of changing things about their health. After this came 100 years of people writing about the law of attraction, their understanding of it, and how you can also manifest whatever you want into your life. Some of these books include God's Image in Man, What All the World is Seeking, The Power of Positive Thinking, and You Can Heal Your Life. So as you can see, yes, it's a relatively new concept, but it is a concept that people will die at the helm of to defend. So what is the law of attraction? Can I give you a simple definition for the law of attraction that's accepted by many or most of the people that use it? Nope. Nope, I cannot. Can I give you a specific set of steps that is used by all practitioners to make the law of attraction work for you? Nope, I cannot, again. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give the examples that I have found and some of the similarities between all the websites that seem to pop out. But I have found that, for the most part, the steps in one person's description of the law of attraction are completely different or directly conflict another person's. Also, instead of waiting until the end to give my opinion on this concept, my opinion will be littered throughout this video because I have a lot to say. I tried to go into this with as little bias as possible, but as I read through the information online and watched videos on YouTube, I quickly realized that everyone kind of has their own perception of what the law of attraction is. There are laws that are said to be the laws of the universe, but yet no one seems to have the same laws of the universe. So how is it that the law of attraction is working for all of these people, but no one is doing or following the same thing? Could this be more of a placebo effect where people are using positive affirmations to encourage themselves to do something? I don't know. Anyways, I'm sorry. Like I said, I have a lot to say with this one. Alright, so we will start with the first website's definition of the law of attraction. It says that the law of attraction is a metaphysical force akin to the force of gravity. Just as a gravitational pull exists between the sun and the planets to hold them in a continuous orbit, so does the law of attraction exist between people's beliefs and behaviors. If you believe that you are capable of achieving your dreams, you are inspired to pursue those dreams. But if you believe you are incapable, there will be no impetus to inspire you to action. The law of attraction acts as a magnet force between your dreams and the actions you must take to realize them. Okay, so let's unpack this one first. 1. Metaphysical force. There's no way that this is akin to gravity. He is right in that gravity is the force that keeps the planets in continuous orbit. I'll give him that. But in saying that, something like a metaphysical force, which can also be described as a supernatural force, is not a scientific principle. It's a philosophical principle. And 2, saying if you believe you are capable of achieving your dreams, you're inspired to pursue those dreams. But if you believe you are incapable of achieving your dreams, there will be no impetus to inspire you to action. Psychology bunny, your turn. According to this site, there are 6 laws of attraction. 1. Unwavering desire. It says that this works by focusing your awareness on your deepest values and goals. By having an unwavering desire for what it is that you want to bring into your life, it is supposed to help with aligning the universe to your desires. Number 2, conceptualization or imagination. So it says, like gravity, there is nothing you can do to overcome the law of attraction. When you remove doubt from the picture, you're able to focus on attaining what you really want. But sir, you just said in Law 1 that the law of attraction will not work unless you have an unwavering desire. But now you're saying that it's like gravity and there's nothing you can do to overcome it. So, which is it? Will the law of attraction just happen to me or my life? Or do I need to believe and have an unwavering desire for something to change? It can't really be both ways. Number 3, affirmation. By constantly affirming yourself and your goal, you're able to sharpen your focus. Number 4, confident focus. As you cultivate your focus, your desires become more tangible. Yep. Being optimistic does allow you to work towards your goals, but it doesn't make the universe drop whatever it is you're seeking into your lap. If you are confident in the goal that you have set, and you are confident in the steps that you need to take to reach that goal, then you'll be more likely to actually take those steps to meet the goal. It's not the universe changing it for you. It's a confidence factor. Again, psychology bunny. Number 5, unshakable belief, which says, when you truly believe something is possible, nothing will get in your way of pursuing it. But doesn't this mean the exact same thing as number 1? Yes, I'll answer my own question. Yes, they mean the exact same thing. Just changing the words doesn't make it a new concept or new point. Oh, and psychology bunny. Number 6, gratitude. Says that mindset is everything. Having an attitude of gratitude puts you in a place of greater self-awareness. You're able to see your circumstances more clearly, including how the law of attraction may have already achieved outcomes you hadn't noticed. So I have 2 points here. A, if I have to consciously desire something for the law of attraction to work, then how could the law of attraction have already achieved outcomes I haven't noticed? Doesn't that directly go against rule 1, 4, and 5? And B, I'm not going to argue that having an attitude of gratitude is a bad thing. That is something that I can actually get behind. Helping people to realize what they already have and being able to show gratitude for who and what is around them is a valuable skill to teach. But being grateful for what you have does not explain how the law of attraction works. Something that this site has done, and I have also noticed it on other sites that try to explain the law of attraction, is that they use the phrase, real science backs this theory, or something along those lines, but then never explicitly show what science they are talking about. We'll go more into the scientific argument for the law of attraction later, but for a bit of foreshadowing, my friend Psychology Bunny wants to say hi. There's one last quote that I want to share from this explanation of the law of attraction before we move on, and it is, when you focus on something continuously, magic happens. And that magical something is just your intentions, activating your brain to achieve that thing. Alright, wait. Did this website just say that the law of attraction is literally your own brain motivating you towards the things you want? Interesting concept you have there. A law is something that works whether you believe in it or not, like the law of gravity, which does not rely on people's beliefs to function. Like gravity and other laws of physics, the laws of attraction don't require you to believe in them to work. Before we go any further into this, is it evident yet as to why the research for this video made me so mad? The last website we were talking about literally said that we need to believe in the law of attraction in order for it to work. Then this website says that, no, it's not like that. You can believe in whatever the hell you want and it's gonna work. And don't even get me started about comparing this to physics. We will have a short interview later with a physicist to talk about his perspective and if there is any correlation to any of this to physics. So, stay tuned. So, in exploring this website, the first thing I noticed is that we have gone from having 6 laws on the last site to now having 3. Where did the other 3 laws go? Did the last site make up a few extra laws to make themselves look more educated on the matter? Or did this one leave some out for the convenience of writing? I'm confused. Issue number 1. Right out of the gate, there's a quote talking about what the laws of attraction are based on, saying it's based more on physics than most realize. What physics are we talking about? Physics seems to be a huge selling point on most of these websites, but taking a concept that is hard to understand in the first place, like physics, and applying it to a belief that you can make shit happen with just the power of your thought, regardless of your circumstances, is stupid. Just making something harder to understand or choosing difficult words to explain your theory to someone doesn't make you look more believable. It makes you look scummy. The 3 laws listed on this website are 1. Like attracts like. 2. Nature abhors a vacuum. And 3. The present is always perfect. Let's explore what this site describes these laws as, and then I will give you my takeaway from it, because oh boy, there's a lot to unpack. Law 1. Like attracts like. This law is self-explanatory. Where it starts to veer off for me is in their examples. If you are tall, you are more likely to have tall friends. Along with, we tend to marry from the same socioeconomic backgrounds and same levels of vocabulary. Okay, here we go. These examples that they have so graciously given us are not and cannot be used as proof of, well, anything. The magical physics of attraction are not specifically making your brain choose the people based on their status or their height. It is more likely that the people of the same socioeconomic backgrounds have similar social groups and are involved in similar extracurriculars, meaning that there is more of a chance of befriending / starting a relationship with said people. Has nothing to do with magical physics, but okay, that's it for Law 1. Law 2. Nature abhors a vacuum. Guess what? This one is an actual concept. The only thing is, it's a physics concept, not anything to do with the law of attraction. A very, very simplified explanation of what this means in terms of physics is that empty space or unfilled spaces are unnatural, so they go against the law of physics, meaning when you fill a glass with water, it's obviously full. But even before the water was pulled in, the glass was still full, just not with water. It was full of atoms. You cannot see them, because human vision isn't that great yet, but they're there. Therefore, we can come to the conclusion that it is impossible to create a completely empty space. This website uses the following example to try to link this concept to the law of attraction. You've experienced how this works when you empty your junk drawer and find it full a few weeks later. By creating space in our lives, we easily attract new things. I think I get where they're trying to go with this, but it kind of failed. They started this paragraph with saying that it is impossible to create an empty space because atoms will immediately fill the space, to saying that you need to create space in your life to be able to attract new things. So, what is it? Can we make space or not? Are we talking emotional space? Or if I'm trying to manifest something tangible, like let's say a rose, am I able to make emotional space for said rose, or do I actually need to make physical space? In other words, what the hell are they trying to say? They end this explanation of nature abhors a vacuum by saying that Marie Kondo was correct when she said that tidying is life-changing. Like, don't be bringing Marie Kondo, the decluttering queen, into this. Using her in your example does not make it any more relatable. Just don't. Law 3, the present is always perfect. This law seems pretty self-explanatory too, but holy shit, this is toxic. This law says the trick to the 3rd law of attraction is to make your current reality as perfect as possible. this will lead you to whatever it is you desire. But how? What I believe the law is trying to say is to be thankful for what you have instead of concentrating on what you don't have, which granted is a good viewpoint on life. But again, this is just changing your mindset about your own life. Making the best out of what we have is something we should be doing anyway. Just saying. Side note time, side note time, side note time. As you can see from the first two websites, there is no general consensus on what the law of attraction is. Yes, both sites contain the same buzzwords and flowery language, but that's it. And unfortunately, this trend's going to continue. The next website is just about as useful as the first two, so don't get your hopes up too much here that I'll be bringing you any new information, because I'm not. According to this site, there are actually 7 parts to the law of attraction. And I would just like to state that if within 3 websites I get 3 different sets of rules or explanations about what the concept is, I think it's safe to say that no one, and I mean no one, actually knows what they are talking about. So here are the 7 parts of the law of attraction according to this website. 1. Unwavering desire. 2. Conceptualization and imagination. 3. Affirmation. 4. Focus and confidence. 5. Profound belief. 6. Gratitude. And 7. Manifestation. Yes, these are very similar to the rules that the first website uses, but it also goes on to make the following points. 1. There is a simple formula. First of all, you need to decide what you really want or don't want. So for this part, didn't we just get finished saying early in this video that we should not be concentrating on what we don't want, because that will make it more likely that that's what the universe is going to bring us? 2. It also says, now you just need to ask the universe. 3. Work hard, trust in your work, receive help, and acknowledge it. All steps that you could give to make any concept work, really. You mean like if we work hard, we'll get what we want? It's an interesting theory, my friend. 4. Your energetic vibrations are like radio signals. You must tune your signal to a vibration worthy of receiving it. But, okay, great. If we're thinking about what we don't want, wouldn't that change these radio-like signals, in turn bringing us what we don't want? So wouldn't that literally be a contradiction of your first point? I don't understand. And before I start ranting, the last point that they make is, just as the why of the law of gravity is complex and difficult to understand unless you are a theoretical physicist, the why of the law of attraction is also somewhat complicated. In fact, gravity is actually still a bit of a mystery to scientists. We understand that gravity prevents us and everything else on Earth from floating away, but the why is an intricate matter. This point's going to be included in my rant, but it will be closer to the end. So if you're ready, sit down, buckle in, let's rant. Like I said, I tried to go in with as little bias as possible, but as I read through the information online and watched other YouTubers' videos, I quickly realized that everyone kind of has their own perception of what the law of attraction is, the laws that are used in the law of attraction, that are said to be part of the universe, the laws of the universe, but yet no one has the same laws. Like, it's so confusing. So how is it that the law of attraction is working for all of these people, but no one is doing or following the same thing? Could this be more of a placebo effect where people are using positive affirmations to encourage themselves to do things? Those positive affirmations work to change the way that person thinks about their situation, which in turn makes them feel that the law of attraction works and it wasn't their own doing to make these changes. Like, this is the only thing that I can think of to explain this. Alright, so now let's go back to the gravity comparison. Gravity is an understood force. Scientists understand how it works. What is not fully understood is exactly what gravity is. We can't see it, we can't touch it, but we can observe its effects. saying that unless you're a theoretical physicist, this is all too difficult to understand is rude. And if it's that hard to understand, then why the hell are you trying to make people understand? Here's my thing. When you tell people that they can change their lives with just the power of thought, you are setting people up for failure. And in many cases, failure is not what that person needs in their life at that moment. Help people by giving them guidance towards what their goal is and how to achieve it, not guidance to think it into existence. The last set of rules we're going to talk about comes from another website, and this one was a ride. It states that there are 6 rules, and although I'm not going to go through all of them this time, because I've covered all of these points earlier, we're going to concentrate on 2 points. Mirror neurons help to explain the spread of good vibrations, and geneticists show that limiting beliefs are inherited. Mirror neurons are described as a neuron that fires both when an animal acts and when an animal observes the same action performed by another. The neuron mirrors the behavior of another as though the observer were itself acting. So again, yes, this is a real concept. In regards to the law of attraction, from what I understand, it is said that your wishes and desires act as mirror neurons, attracting like from the universe, which in turn brings you what you are wishing for. As well as surrounding yourself with successful people and people you look up to so that your brain can emulate the successful people's brains. This honestly, the way they put this, it just makes it look like a whole bunch of sci-fi bullshit. You're likely to take on some attributes of people that you were around on a continuous basis. It's like when you spend time with a friend or a boyfriend, someone who's new in your life, you will notice that you take on some of the same speech patterns or behaviors. This is just how the human brain works. This is how humans make connections to other people. It's... no. Your brain is not mirroring the neurons of some magical physics out there in the world. Stop using actual theories and actual concepts to try to describe your bullshit. Alright, so there's a study that many believe shows proof that the limiting thoughts we feel are inherited by our parents, meaning that instead of feeling discouraged that we have allowed ourselves to have these thoughts, we need to work to identify and change these thoughts. Now, even I can agree with this statement. Negative thoughts and emotions need to be sussed out and dealt with. Cognitive behavioral therapy does a very good job at helping with this by teaching behaviors to overcome these thoughts. So let's break down this experiment and why I believe that it has absolutely nothing to do with the law of attraction. Scientists in Atlanta, Georgia found that when associating the scent of cherry blossom with an electric shock, the rats that they were testing on became so sensitive to that scent that they actually passed their fear onto their offspring through their genetic code. Brain imaging even showed the presence of different neurological receptors in offspring's brains. This is an incredible study that definitely tells us a lot about how rodents' brains work and how evolution works in rodents. But in regards to the law of attraction, it shows nothing. This study shows that mice have the evolutionary ability to change their genetics to protect the lives of their offspring. The same type of thing can happen when mice are infected with a certain type of parasite. This parasite turns off the rodent's innate fear of cats so that when they are confronted by a hungry feline, it will almost allow itself to be caught. The parasite will then infect the cat, which is its ideal host. But, plot twist, if the mouse survives and goes on to have offspring, after being a parasite ubertrip, their offspring will also be born with the same lack of fear of cats, without having ever been infected. All of this is evolutionary. Saying that limiting beliefs are a genetic trait because of a rat experiment is misleading. Limited beliefs are more likely to be part of a person's upbringing. If you are raised by and constantly around people who are habitually negative, you will learn negativity and may have a harder time forming or believing positive thoughts about yourself. One is nature, the other is nurture. There is a huge difference. Believers will try to dote reams of anecdotal evidence to support the law of attraction, but anecdotal evidence is just that, anecdotal. These are people's stories. It cannot be used as proof of anything. There are thousands of reports that Bigfoot exists, but we have yet to list Bigfoot as a confirmed species because we can't take anecdotal evidence as gospel. You cannot say that just because you have the testimony from somebody saying it works, that it's proved. People have the ability to lie, especially when they want to use something like the law of attraction for monetary gain. Honestly, I could go on for another 2 hours about the information that I have found and the contradictions that are evident, not only between practitioners of the theory, but even within a single person's definition. This is stated as a law and also states that since it's a law, it has to work. Stop comparing the law of attraction to gravity and other physics laws. They are not the same, and without proof, they will never be the same. And now for that interview with a physicist that I promised. Please welcome Captain K, physics major grad in 2004, and all-around swell guy. When you were studying at university, at what point was the law of attraction introduced as a theory or scientific principle?
Never.
Something that many practitioners of the law of attraction say is that the law of attraction is closely related to gravity. Is this true?
Other than gravity attracts things? No.
To your knowledge, what makes the law of attraction different from the law of gravity?
The law of gravity is something that exists.
Is it a possibility that the law of attraction has been introduced as a concept since you finished university, and that is why you did not study it?
Not as far as I'm aware.
Alright, thank you, Captain K, for your words of insight there. Loved it. Alright, but like I said, I tried to go in with this with an open mind. Seeing so many Instagram models and celebrities tote the law of attraction as a life-changing concept is so enticing, and they make it seem like it's a guarantee to bring you to the life that you are looking for. I think the biggest thing that shows that this can't possibly work is that there is no set of rules, tips, guidelines, nothing that runs in common with all of the people that claim to be experts. So even if the experts can't agree with it and what it does and what you have to do to achieve it, then how can it possibly work? Seeing lately that the law of attraction is making a re-emergence in the public eye, it worries me that people who are in a dark place mentally or physically with their health are going to see this as a guaranteed way out of their problems. And then when it doesn't work, it could potentially take a toll on their already delicate psyche. This is what happened with me when I tried years ago. It made me feel like I was so helpless and useless that I couldn't even make the universe want to help me. And when you are in a dark place already, that can be the straw that breaks the camel's back, so to speak. Encourage people to work their hardest for their dreams. Encourage people to take small, actionable steps towards achieving their goals. Teach people smart goal planning techniques. Showing people how to work for what they want is a way to see results. You may not get the results of infinite abundance of whatever it is you're looking for, but you will have taught them, and maybe even yourself, a valuable lesson that maybe they then will be able to teach somebody else in their position. Realistic goal planning and thinking will do much more for somebody than telling them to convince the universe that they deserve it. And really, guys, I think that is all I really have to say with the law of attraction. Like I said, I don't know, this hasn't changed my mind in any way. I still do not see this as something that works. But now I have the understanding, I guess, of how people are trying to use this to their advantage to get them further. You see a lot of this with MLMs. They say using the law of attraction is what brought them success in their MLM. When no, the law of attraction is not what brought you success in your MLM. Taking advantage of people is. Honestly, using this to try to take advantage of people is disgusting. People turn to these extremes of ways to get what they're looking for because they have tried everything else. So instead of taking advantage of people, we should be helping them. Thank you for joining me for another video. Like I said, just because the magical physics genie didn't bring you what you were looking for, it doesn't mean that you are not deserving. Alright, peace out, subscribe, like, do all that fun stuff, and bye bye.